All right, guys. So it is Sunday Fun Day. I got another 6-minute video of new content. And please, as always, like, share, subscribe if you haven't. I was talking to a few people that have been watching my videos, and as always, I appreciate all the suggestions. So some of the key thing that I was saying or that I was getting was people are confused over the earnings part. And then hopefully you guys can see this. I'm trying to zoom this in as much as I can. So I'm trying to um, make sure you guys can see all this, but I tried to clean up the presentation some so it's more easy to follow. But people are they are liking like the details that I'm giving in terms of trades that I got into and those that I did not. All right. But this is another 6-minute video. Right now, just because I'm trying to keep it rolling here, all I'm doing is just cleaning up some of the mess. This particular trade, I'll just tell you right now, it's not the best trade to get into for the first trade. We got downward movement, upward movement, and then it goes down again, and then it's going up. So it's kind of in some sort of weird zone. Okay, so I'm not marking up the ones that I've already, so the ones that I got involved in, I did kind of pre-make some shapes and stuff so it's easier to follow. But because I was getting told that, hey, I appreciate you showing the ones that you don't get involved in or the ones that don't work out, I'm going to keep that same mentality. So this one, essentially, as you can see, is consolidating on a larger level, which is fine. If I wanted to jump into this, it'll be a buy, but it's just not giving me what I want to see at this time. Okay. So I and also just another thing, because everybody's not watching my videos in order. So this one, this this indicator here is where you find your charts. I am now only using Hakanashi at the 1 minute time frame. Okay, so some of the earlier videos I was doing candles and I was telling you about entering when it's like three over the or when it's like two candles forming over the yellow, and as long as the other parameters matched up, which still can apply based on what I'm seeing because I see it here and I, and I see it here on the sell side and I see it here again on the buy side, so probably could apply. But I stepped away from it because what Hakanashi is basically giving you the average. Candle shows full candle, it'll show a wick, but essentially it's giving you an open and close. The Hakanashi is giving you average. So it's telling you, hey, this is the average pressure, is what I like to call it, um, coming from this particular candle. Okay. So with me being able to use an average with Hakanashi, I generally trade when it's within the average because I know if the entry is within the average, then chances are it's going to push it above. If it's above the average, then I mean it may not, I mean just think about it. If it's above average, chances of getting to that point may not be there, but if it's within average, then it could, right? So, and then you're wanting to be on the inside, like on the upper end of whatever the average or the lower end if you're selling, okay? But this one, like I said, stayed out of it because this wouldn't be a good first trade to jump into. This is looking good. I mean, if it continues to grow upward, okay, that continues. And then the oscillator tool is looking decent. It's just that blue, as you can see, is starting to curve. So just not a lot. And then this last candle as well. I mean, it's not a full candle; it's still forming, but it's a doji, all right? So be mindful of that, right? So I didn't actually show the time clock on this, so I am sorry. I'm trying to zoom it in so you guys see what's important. But you see, it's 11:06. When you get to the end of this video, I'm not going to ruin it, but you can see how much time it actually took because my recordings generally go a lot longer than what the recording for the trade is because I talk a lot. No judgment. Okay, so so let's continue on. I'll let this video play out so we can actually get to the one that I traded on, and then I'll explain like the whole profit thing too, because that keeps, like I said, that keeps coming up. People saying, "Hey, you're making all this," and I'm like, "Oh, you're just adding up the money wrong." All right. Um, so sorry, you just have to bear with me while I search for other things. Okay, so one part that was coming up, and I'm gonna let this all form out real quick. Like, when do you decide to get into a trade? Like when you decide to get into a trade, I'm sorry, what do you look at first? So I have it numbered for you, okay? Because sometimes it just really depends on the situation. So situations like this, where we're in the middle, we have an entry. So the entry line, just remember, is this here. So if you buy and sell, this is where you're going to start. Um, if I have that line and I'm near a floor, so number one represents a psychological floor, or you can call it a support zone. Resistance is the psychological ceiling or the top shaded area if you're going to create, right? So that'll be over here, all right, if I was considering it. All right, so no judgment on my squares. That's why I created those. But anyway, um, I'm not considering the top end because we're going downward, as you can see, right? So it's obviously a downward trend right now. The first thing I look at is, hey, I have a lot of wiggle room between these two areas, right? So a lot of wiggle room. That's the first thing that I see. So a lot of wiggle room. Two is I got a downward trend, all right? Three, crossover, right? So you got a perfect crossover where the green here is turning into large red, which is then neutraling out and then becoming larger red the opposite way. Also, if you're using the oscillator tool the right way, which I don't use it all the time, because the oscillator tool, you're supposed to actually jump in early on those opportunities when the lines are above the zero, if the sell or if it's below going up towards the zero on a buy. Does that make sense? So if you're selling, it should look like this. If it's buying, just think about a flip flop. So it should be sell, it should be above zero. Buy, it should be below zero. Okay, that's the correct way to use the MACD. I don't always follow that. Now, reasoning why is because you can literally be trading all day, man. If you're looking for everything to line up perfectly, like honestly, it can take a long time to trade, and that's why I have a good five trade system. So trade five, five successful. No, I shouldn't say five successful trades. Five trades, because if you lose some, then you're just getting your money back some. So I'm looking for my fifth trade to land essentially in a perfect world. All right, if I can get five consecutive, then I'm done. If whatever else I need to do up to 10, I'm done. All right, but sometimes you're gonna win some, you'll lose some, then you got to win it back, or so the numbers are always hard to reach like a specific number. That's why you should just have some sort of goal threshold. Because once you get to 10 trades and you're in a profit, I would just stop because after that it just gets a little sloppy, right? Because that's just a sign of desperation. So I generally don't go past 10 um, at all, okay? Unless I'm like literally using money that is, unless I'm like doing my second trade of the day, right? So first day, first part of the day, which is like now, I'm about trying to secure my profit. So let's say I get to, let's just say if I have a goal of $150 and I'm at 200, I have 50 extra dollars to play with, right? So I'll take my 150 out the account and I'll stick with that $50 and I'll work that $50 until I win again. Same, so instead of starting off with a 50, I'll probably start off with 20 and then build myself up and then you end up hitting another goal. And that's how it's hard to stop with this. So like with that said, like whatever your goal is your goal, and it's your own thing. So if you want $50 a day, and that works for you, then that's fine. If you want $100 a day and that works for you, that's fine. But you can make a lot more accidentally because it is addicting to do this. But you have to have a system that protects you, okay? Because if you're in here, just clicking away and not paying attention, you can lose it all too. All right. So me personally, I get in the habit of taking my funds out when I'm done to prevent me from losing them trying to do too much. Because I'd rather lose the extra and be at zero, and then I get that reality check like, man, I got to make a deposit. That's going to force me to wait a 24-hour period. I'm not going to rush deliver the funds if I just have to. It's not even 24 hours, like another day. But I'm not going to rush those funds. So it kind of keeps you grounded. So you have to stay grounded with all this. It doesn't make sense getting rich overnight. And honestly, that's not what this is for. Okay, I want you guys just to really be financially comfortable. If you're in a position to be rich in this, you can be. The people that are making all the money doing this stuff, the only thing that's different is they're just using larger amounts or they're placing multiple trades at once. So, which still equates to using more money, right? So, all this can be done, and honestly, this is a lot more, yeah, to me, this has been this is great. That's what I'll say. All right. So I ain't here to talk about money, but reach your goals, whatever those goals may be. So where did I leave off? Number four, I think. Yeah. So number four, reason, or the number four, I'm sorry, area is the oscillator tool. It's pointing downward. It's not curving upward towards the 80. So it's telling me that I'm still good to sell. Now, the fifth thing is based on the Hakanashi. So when I use Hakanashi, again, trading within the pressure zone is what I like to call it, right? So as you see it right here, I would love to jump in right here, right? Because it's within this, as you can see, and I'm not going to explain this on everyone going forward because I want you to, I won't draw it up, but you should be able to follow. Sorry, I don't know why I erased that. So, it's within the pressure zone. You have the entry line, which is that horizontal line, and preferably I like it to be in this situation, because I think the minute just started over. Oh yeah, there's a new minute formed. I want it to be kind of at the tip here. I want to jump in at the tip. Now you can't control it, but essentially that line needs to move down some, just a little bit, to so I know that hey, it's going to continue downward, right, and not do some weird reversal. Because again, this is 5 seconds, so long run it'll continue down. But me, I don't, I like to trade at the 5 second interval, which is this. So you guys can set whatever time you want to, but my method is based on 5 seconds, so if it's not successful for you, then I didn't tell you it would be because I've been doing 5 seconds. Okay, so let's continue with the video so you can just see. So I did the 50, and I recall this one broke even. Yeah, so it did break even. So when you trade 50 and you fail, you'll see zero pop up in the red. If you trade 50 and it just meets the same spot, you'll get a 50 in the yellow. And then if you get another trade that does well, you'll see it in the green. So I'm sticking with this because what happened was, you have to commit to this thing, man. Like you can't hesitate. This is based on 5 seconds. And honestly, when I'm doing my recordings and recording these live sessions, sometimes it's not showing on this end for some reason, but it skips. Like so it'll like pause a little and then I don't actually see the opportunity in real time. So that little bit of hesitation, because I'm trying to press the button immediately, can cause me to win, or in this case, it broke even, right? But I stuck with it because I was just trying to get that sweet spot that I was looking for. And as you can see, it hit, right? So $96 it shows, but out of the 96, you remember. So you're investing, you're putting up 50 for a 92% return, which gets you 46. And what the green symbolizes is that in total, they're giving you back $96. So you're not making $96, you only make 46. Okay. So that was part of some of the confusion that I was getting. So I'm not going to over explain that again, but I'm just keeping a tally for this one video. I'm not going to do that every time because I don't want, that's not what this is about. All right. It's about technique, not showing off earnings and all of that. All right. So this one here, um, this one here, as you can see, and you have to be quick with this. In order, in terms of what I'm looking at, is literally 1, 2, and 3. All right. So the first thing I see is this consolidation zone, which is the number one. It's breached the consolidation zone. Again, the zone does not have to be these large squares like I have visually um, on here for you guys. That's the smallest I can get it. But just remember, it's a zone. It's not a particular point. Now, it breached that, so I know it's in a buy. So I feel comfortable with the buy. Additionally, we got red crossing over to then green up. Okay, so this is all an upward trend. It's just that it was consolidating in the upward trend from the upward trend for a while, and it's still kind of going. I mean, it's technically still kind of going up. It's just consolidating going up, right? So it's given buy energy on number two. Three, you have to see at the same time. Now, three is leveling out like a snake, right? So three is not the best option, right? So when I talked to you guys about 3 out of 4 things, this is what I'm talking about exactly. So I'm glad this one popped up because the fourth one, my fourth indicator is always that Hakanashi, that line. So I'm waiting for the entry line to, you see it's above the pressure. So it's above average right now. And yeah, I could have clicked it and probably got it. And it's taking all day and it's staying above, so I'm trying to stay grounded because this is only my second trade, but now it's starting to go down. A new minute is formed, right? So automatically, do I jump in? No, I don't automatically jump in because the line is over the new candle. That's a new candle, so the average isn't that reliable. So the average that I'm looking at is this candle, okay? So it's still the prior candle is what I'm looking at because now we're on a new candle that's only formed for 2 seconds. But that 2 seconds average doesn't mean anything to me. All right. So I'm waiting for it to get to the line so I can feel comfortable clicking that buy button. Because technically speaking, if it stayed like this for a little while, then I would click it. Now, the hesitation thing came in, but I did click it. It gave me credit a little bit higher than where I wanted to go. But let me see if I can. I wish you can hear that part, like when I click the button, because that's the part that irritates me. So, and the chart is moving too, guys. So I'm sorry, it's moving as because the chart is moving in real time, so you have to be able to follow it. But as you can see, the prior, let me erase this arrow. That prior arrow that has a 50 on it, there's a wick that is still technically over where that entry is. Now, I clicked the button personally when it dropped a little bit at the tip of that prior wick. It was not high as it was before, but again, that's the delay part of me clicking that button, right? Still worked out for me, but that's why I said it really pays to be fast with it. I keep telling myself I'm gonna get a mouse, but I don't, I haven't, and maybe because I have too much I have about 4 monitors over here on my workstation, so it's hard to find out where I'm going to put a mouse, right? So I'll continue. Uh, Another 51. So typically speaking, it's the beginning of the week, technically. So I try to start off a little easy. Normally I'll go like 50, 75, 100, like once I've built up that confidence. But I'm looking at this as I got $0 for the week, right? This is my fresh week, so I'm not doing too much risk. So normally I would double up on my first one, just to build up that confidence. So now that 46 has turned to 92, and now I'm going to continue up to find more opportunity. Okay, so nothing there. So nothing here. And just to explain why I got out of it is because this is downward and this is consolidating. All right, so it's consolidating, and I have low act areas, like a low consolidation zone, right? So I don't have that much room down. I don't have that much room up. It's going down. But again, I take the wicks in consideration, but I'm looking at the bars especially. I don't feel like I have enough room to take that risk right now. So that's the first reason I stayed out of it. Secondly, the crossover is about to happen, so maybe come back to it later, right? So the green is still over the red, and then this is pointing downward, so this actually looks good. So the oscillator tool looks good. The MACD is the one that I really lean on though. It's just not the best look. And then the actual chart again, it's at the top. I'm sorry, the actual it's at the bottom of the actual zone almost. Okay, so not ideal right now. Later in the week when I'm up some, maybe, right? So moving over, stay out of that one. Sorry, I was about to click. So same thing, real quick. Um, so same thing. It's going. So you got a downward trend. All right. So overall downward trend is going up, but for some reason there's something here that's keeping it, grounded, right? And you can see that based on all the wicks pushing it back down. But this is giving you buy energy, so it's conflicting information. It could buy and then drop back down, and then this is showing that it's probably going to go down too. So this is giving me sell energy, not buy energy, but I'm not going to sell with the green candles looking like that and the entry being at the bottom of the green candle, right? So not worth the risk at this time. Let's just see if we have better options, which is good. You have several options with assets to go through. This one, goodness gracious, this is so quick. Sorry. So this is how fast I trade, but this is how you have to do it. Got to be able to see it quick so you don't waste time. All right, so you guys can already see this. I don't even have to really go into this. All these candles. When you see candles like this, stay out of it. Everything's just too small. Every candle is small. So but you don't want to click something and it's lingering in an area for a long time, and then you lose because it barely missed, and then you can't even see where it moves. So just stay out of these ones anyway. Don't even worry about any of the other stuff. I know it's MACD down here showing large red, but no, I don't believe it. And then overall, like I said, it's in a buy period. So I don't trust any sell with this at all. Okay. And remember, each of these represent a minute. So no. All right. So stay out of those. And then we move to Facebook. Facebook. And then before I move out of this one, so peep these real quick, man. Consolidation goes up, consolidates, then it goes through, then it bounces back down to the initial consolidation zone, and then it's breached it, then it breached this ceiling. So it's a buy. All right, overall, I would be considering a buy. The only reason I would definitely stay out is because of these two. You got a doji, and then you got a small green candle that is showing that there is being something pushing it down here. Okay, so you see that area there at the top. You got these two. I mean, really, let's just be real. These are three candles that are touching this area. The three large ones are touching that area and retracing, and then you have two ones that are following those from a lot of upward pressure that are extremely small. And then coupled with, I mean, this is just that. There's these two red bars, and then this is telling you that it's likely about to reverse some. Okay, so it can overall turn back around, but it's not the best time to get into it. Like I said, the beauty of it is when you have a five trade system, all I'm asking you for is to look for the five best opportunities. Don't make five best opportunities. Look for them. All right. And if you can't, you log out and you come back at another hour. And there we go, moving fast again. Goodness. So this one mimics the other one. It's super small candles. Stay out of it, right? Overall, you see downward trend. I know at the end of MACD it's giving you some buy with neutral size, not neutral, but with larger, I guess, candles, if you want to classify that. But oscillator tool has it leveling out, so chances are it's probably going to turn around once it hits this area here on you and retrace back down. So not the best time for that. If the only thing I would be looking for is the sell. Okay. Um, so that's that. Let's continue on. So as always, when you can't find anything, you got to look for other tools. And let me erase that to get that out your way. So other assets, like I said, anything yielding over a 90% is fine. I like 92 specifically, as you can see. All right. So you have lots of options. Don't need to force anything. So just going through things. You may have looked into this one already. So let me go into the new ones. Here we go. So, let me get all of them up. So, okay, so yeah, so we're in Polygon. So, strong motion going downward. All right. So we got the strong motion going downward. First thing I look at is always, I mean, that's obvious. I guess technically speaking, that would be the first thing, but I look for four. So you see the four, you see all these candles at the bottom touching this area and bouncing off, right? So there's something there that's saying, get away from me, right? You jump on the floor, the booty bounce off the ground. That's the best way I can think of it, right? Um, so that's the first thing I look at. Second is always, well, not always, but the second thing that's obvious is the MACD. All right. So as you can see, You got an early crossover. You got these greens moving upward, and hopefully it continues to larger upward green candles, right? Right now they're on the sell end. And then technically speaking, this is being used correctly because this is the zero, right? So your MACD is being used correctly because you're catching it early and that is pointing at the zero or going up towards the zero. All right, let me get some of this mess out your way. And then this one is always easy to catch, man. So two and three, I generally, not two and three, but these two areas I generally put interchangeably right next to each other because I see them at the same time, right? So that's continuing up towards the 80. Remember, it doesn't matter if it's under, or it doesn't matter if it's close to the 20, as long as it's pointing upward towards the 80. It's just you're just trying to make sure it's not leveled out like here in this whole area. You want to make sure it's not pointing downward like it is in this area where it was in a buy, or pointing upward like it is over here. Okay. So if it's near that area, as long as it's pointing in a direction, and sometimes even if it is snaking out and going straight, I'll jump in it if everything else makes sense. Okay. So let's continue to the trade. I think we moved it up to 75 now. So you guys know what I'm looking for. I'm trying to see if you know. So waiting on that entry line. I was trying to give you guys time to catch it, but the entry line is just, I mean, I could have clicked buy a long time ago and been good, but I'm staying true to my process. So perfect. So press it right at the top. I'm fine with that. Normally speaking, I mean, like I said, everything is matching up good. So I press it right there, but you see, even on the MACD, that north of zero candle is starting to form, right? So let's continue. And yes, I'm buying against the sale. That is fine because what you have to understand now that it did that thing since I was recording. These candles, so since this is overall sale, these candles, the market, I'm sorry, moves like this. So there are, you get what I'm saying? Like there's going to be points where it retraces in these areas. So it retraces. It's not going to just go straight down. So I trade to at the crossover. The crossover is basically the retracement when you're trying to catch the funds from retracement periods. Now going sell against the sell is fine. It's just sometimes you have to consider like, hey, how long has it been selling? Because it may hit something or, so that's why I like to do the retracement. Or at least just, I don't like to trade at a sale at the bottom because I just don't know when the bottom is. Okay. So even sometimes I may buy at a bottom if I'm feeling like it's going to bounce back. Of course, I'll change my figures because I don't want to risk a lot on a guess. But that's, I mean, essentially what it is. It's just an educated guess that, hey, it's going to bounce back for at least 5 seconds if I press it right here. Okay, if I get that quick deep dip, which you'll see sometimes, a quick deep dip, then it'll shoot up for you a little, just a little. I just need that shoot up for a little for 5 seconds and then I'm out. Okay, but timing is everything. And that's something that you will catch kind of on the days where you're already ahead. So it's like, I get it. I get it. If I don't, I don't really care, right? That isn't a fresh onto your day first, 5 trade thing. Okay. So we're at 161 just for the sake of science. And you can stay in some of these. You don't have to like move. Like I had one day where I like did Euro USD all day and I got like 10 trades. And so you don't have to move around. I just typically don't like to overstay my welcome. All right, so you saw the last one with small candles, right? I'm just moving around looking for better opportunity. This one, goodness. This one, so this pointed out to me first. This looks good, and this looks good. This was the first actual couple things that I saw outside of this zone. I was just kind of curious because the zone, the what kept me away from this right away was that area because it's a bunch of small candles both directions. So I'm afraid that it's already kind of in that area, that entry line. I was just afraid that if it continued up, it'll get stagnant, in that area again. So, like I said, it's about finding better opportunities, not always making one. All right. So this is me being patient thinking about it, but sometimes you got to make that decision. Um, Here we got good buy pressure. I just feel like I'm kind of at the end of the rope to jump in. So sometimes you're just real late and it's best to keep it moving. This here looking crazy. So it's a lot of green, but there's some red too that's interrupting, and then it's snaking out at the top. So it's not worth it. Let me just see if something better's out there. So hopefully you guys are getting the gist of it. So I think I'm at, goodness gracious, I keep moving. Yeah, I think I changed my amount already. So this one, just looking for a better opportunity. As you can see, I mean, I'm working within the consolidation zone. So, I mean, that's not the problem. Um, this is good, but I just feel like I'm late. I mean, if I'm being honest, feel like I'm late and then this is snaking out again. So if I would have been here earlier, this would have been great around this area as it's starting to do that. But I'm late, so it is what it is, right? So just find another opportunity. And then also with that said, with that area, with this area that I'm talking about, this is the outcome. So it's a lot of up and down. It's not like straight down. So I don't want to be involved in that. Just find other small candles. This is a large consolidation zone, so I'm happy with that. Man, I pressed the button already. Goodness. So that's how fast you have to be, though. So this is a large consolidation zone. It was here, here, but then it goes up, goes down, and it consolidates here. So I don't have a problem trading within consolidation zones. Some people do have a tactic of trading when the zones are breached. But like I said, my issue with that is I just never know how far down or up to expect it to go unless I have, some sort of track record. But with this, I don't know. I like the 5 second thing. Something like that, you would need to probably trade in like minutes. Okay. Um, because just quick FYI, when I'm doing so like if I'm trying to find a perfect one here. Okay, here. So technically speaking, with this process that I'm teaching, the first ideal situation would be this here. Okay. So you're catching it at the at point of retracement. So you have a doji, all right, so red doji, sorry. You have a red doji followed by, nope, that doesn't even apply because I didn't even see that wick there. So I don't have one on this example. So take back all of that. If I find one, I'll show you. Um, mm, yeah, I don't see one here. So I'll keep an eye out on them. But that's what I'm getting at. Essentially, like the perfect situation to do this, you don't see the options, the opportunities all the time. And unless you're like really sitting here every day, all day, that's why you have to have other ways of trading. So if I find one, I'll show it to you in this video, but I don't think I've seen one and I don't want to scroll back. This is already 30 minutes in now, so sorry. I'll try to catch one another day. So let me just continue. First thing, and we're in a consolidation zone. Um, Second is we're at an early crossover opportunity. So the red, as you can see, I mean, they're small, but that red line is starting to go over the green. And then number 3 shows you the downward pitch. So I feel good about it. It's just something that I have to make a quick decision on because the actual floor is right there, right? So not the best place to jump in, not the best situation to jump in, but you got to do what you got to do, right? It's all about that feel and experience. When you got that experience and you got the feel for it, you'll be confident to make these decisions and jump in. So boom, 192. So again, not $192 made, it's only $92 made. So we're adding up the tally for the sake of this video. So now it's at the bottom, and I don't think I feel good about touching this one again. Small wicks, you already see it. Not wicks, small bars, you already see it, is what I was going to say. I think I went back to the same one. That one, let me go back into that one. That one right there, you see is small. Where'd it go? So this one is a good sale position to get into if 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 it crosses over again. All right. Right now I don't. Yeah, and I'm looking to see if I can see one of those situations I was telling you about, but I don't see it. Still don't see it. So yep, still don't see it. Okay. So this one, yeah, for this particular one, I'm sorry, I was just trying to find an example of the one I was telling you. So you got small buy energy against against all of this sale, and then this last set of candles are opposite in color, and the candle is like within, or actually the entry is underneath the yellow. So I wouldn't go into a buy, even though it looks like it at this time. This is something that maybe you can revisit if you just keep an eye on it, because this is giving buy, but this last two are the reason I'm like, let me see if I can find something better. So that is acceptable. And if I press buy, then it looked like it would have went through too, but I'm not going to enter a buy under the yellow line. I typically don't even like to buy when it's around the yellow line because it's just no way to tell that it's going to bounce back or not. Um, so this one looks like I had to make another quick decision because I barely can get on here. Um, so we got the ceiling at the top. We got the strong pitch going upward, which is so two and three. Like I said, I kind of see these at the same time, but three, strong pitch. Two, you got an early crossover. So you got large green belows approaching now large or smaller to larger greens above, right? So so zone first, and then like I said, I don't use Mac. I mean, I guess technically, I guess I use it again the right way. I was close, but we're right under zero. Okay, so right under zero, but pointed up. So technically speaking, we use MACD appropriately. Number three, at this point, the pitch is still going upward. Now, four is, so this honestly is an experience thing. So I have downward trend, I have a doji. So remember, doji doesn't have to be like a straight line. It could be also small. Okay, so actually this is an example of the perfect one, right? But I just didn't I came in late. So um essentially the first way that I trade, I look for that doji. So actually let me draw it up. I'm sorry, and I didn't mean to do this because I know it's gonna take a minute. I'm trying not to do all this. But you got red, let's just go with the thing. We got red candles going downward. Then you have a doji that says, hey, this is neutral. This ain't what you want, all right? Then your following candles should all be bars, larger bars with wicks at the top. Okay? Uh don't get mad at me for the drawing. Oh my goodness. Let me do that again. I just made a door. So you guys can't judge me, right? You guys are my friends. So you're looking for larger bars with wicks at the top. So where you're looking to enter would be, let me do that in a different color. You would be looking to enter at the second tops on the blue or in the green. All right, so it'll be technically speaking, if I was here on time, I would have wanted to enter here because as you can see, it continues to go up. And like I said, some people do it at a minute. It does work at a minute, but I am very partial to 5 seconds. So 5 seconds is what I do, 5 second entries. But if you want to do the blue or the minute, it does work for that too. I mean, and you can follow it along. It's just like I said, it's just hard to see. Um, to me, it's just hard to um Yeah, to me, it's just hard to go from cashing out in 5 seconds to a minute. Okay, that's kind of why I got away from trading forex. I was trying to get in and out as soon as possible, and where people are trading all day, hitting their goals, I was trying to get in and out in like 3 to 4 hours. So this thing here spoiled me. All right, so I can't see myself trading outside of 5 seconds anymore. So we have that situation, but then also what I was getting at finally, number four is really representing the larger candles. All right, so those are getting progressively larger as it's reaching that ceiling. So I know chances are it's going to give me what I want. All right, I just need to wait till you know what I'm looking for, that entry, number five. So I'm waiting for that entry to touch where I need to touch, adjust my number because I already did the 100. And hopefully this will be my last trade, but I know it is not because you'll see why shortly because of delays in pressing buttons. It messed me up, but that's fine because I want to be transparent with you guys and you see it. So technically speaking, this is my last trade, or my last trading pair, but it's not my last actual trade. So now that this new candle's formed, just so you see that it's been a little while in that candle, so I'm not waiting for it to touch the prior candle's like top of the green. So if you can see what just no, you can't see what happened. So I clicked that. I mean, I'm telling you, look, I clicked that when it was touching the top of that bar, but because I'm recording, it delayed, man. I promise, it delayed and it skipped it up, and I'm like, that's not where I pressed the button. So it took me out, but because I'm like, this is a good one, I stayed with it, and then I got it in the right spot to win it. Now, when I won it, remember, I just lost, so that's why if you looked at the number, it dropped down to 128, and then I put up another 125 of that because I'm like, forget it. I'm done with this. I'm tired. And I wanted to get 246. All right. Are we done yet? Of course not, because we have to keep it rolling. So I just broke even. So this was supposed to be my last trade. So I just jumped back in the same one. Like I said, you guys don't have to go into different groups if you don't want to, as long as it makes sense. And again, this bar, this ceiling that you're seeing, unfortunately, it shifts around as the clock keeps going. So that actually would have been in this area. So just so you guys know, I'm trading above the zone. I can't control the size of that square. This feature that I'm using doesn't, I mean, that's the smallest it can get, but that was moving around as the time went on. But technically speaking, I'm over the zone, which is why, like, don't get that part misconstrued. You don't want to be pressing that button against the zone, especially if it just lost. But since I was above it, I knew it was just an issue of me, the mistiming. Okay, because again, 5 seconds. All I'm saying is it's going to be here for 5 seconds, not six. And if it's six, boom, I lost. Right. So it's really about reflexes. I'm not gonna lie. I've been playing games a lot lately. I didn't realize how bad my reflexes were from lack of video games, man. But I've been playing video games, and now my reflexes are a little bit faster because I'm like, do, do, and do, and I'm missing stuff, and I'm like, dude, like, why is it taking? Not that dramatically, but still, just to tap. But playing video games got my fingers moving faster, so I can get those opportunities and win it. Right. So that is it. Like I said, I got the tally up. What did we miss? We missed. So we broke even the first time. Let me back up. We broke even the first time. Then we got four consecutive ones. Then we lost one. Then we got it back. Then we got another one. So we have, I mean, like I said, to me, I'm not with 50-50, but yeah, that is approaching 10 trades. I got my goal. I don't feel the need to keep going. Like I said, I'm tired. It's Sunday. I just want that initial, you know, whatever. But out of this 364 that you see, and I still may do it because this is addicting. Towards the end of the night, I have $60 extra to play with. So you take those funds, you take the 300 out, you leave 64 in the account, and you trade at $20 You trade at $30, $40, $50. I think you've seen one that I did this essentially where I just keep moving it up just a little and you just keep that thing rolling and then that's how you get another 300 in a day. So it's very easy to do it. As I said, if your goal is $50, you can do it. If it's $100, you can do it. This really how you make money. It's just controlling your losses. So by me pulling the 300 out and having 64 in my account, in order for me to lose more, I have to add money, and it's not gonna. I mean, I can rush it, but I know better to do that, so it won't be there till the next day. So I got $64 to play with later, or $60 I'm gonna play with, because you have to trade it through Well, I use Bitcoin, so there's a conversion rate, and they take something out of it, a few dollars or whatever, but probably have $60 at the end of the day to mess with, and I'll use that, and if I can start another recording with that, then I'll do it. But I'm doing this because I want you guys to see that it can be done. So hopefully you appreciate it. Like the video, subscribe, man, share it with your family, friends. All this stuff is free. I'm not going to start any program where things charge and it costs money. If something like that happens, it'll be down the line when I'm like quit my job or something, and I just want extra money, just like as a sure thing, okay, to kind of create a salary for myself. But I'm not doing that now because I want you guys to see that, hey, I'm about to get this on my own efforts. And even if I was to get to that point, honestly, I don't even know if I would do that because I don't want to obligate myself to do anything. I'm kind of lazy. So, information's free. Share it, like it, use it, man. Use it, use it, use it, use it. I appreciate you guys. Thank you.